Hi guys, welcome back to the next Director's Chair. Today we're talking about the intentional world of John Landis, so let's get into it. Welcome back to the next episode of Director's Chair. We talk about directors. Today we're talking about John Landis. Before I do it, don't forget to subscribe and notification more, because I'm gonna go for his movies. I'm gonna tell it for episode star. So in 1973 we had Schlock. This was a comedy horror film. It starred John Landis, Eliza Barrett, Saul Kahan. I've not seen this movie. I don't know if it's good or not. And then in 1977, we had the Kentucky Fried Movie, which was an independent sketch comedy film. It starred Bill Bixby, George Lazenby, Evan C. Kim, Bon Suhan, Donald Sutherland, Henry Gibson, Harry Dennen, and Agneta Ecker. It made $7.1 million on $650,000 budget. So it's called Kentucky Fried Movie. Then in 1978, we had Animal House, which was a comedy film. And it starred John Belushi, Tim Matheson, John Vernon, Werner Bloom, Thomas Hulse, and Don Sutherland. $141.6 million budget. It received mixed reviews. So yeah. I think this movie's good. So yeah, that's Animal House. And then 1980 we had Blues Brothers, musical comedy film. It was
I'm going to the shop.
Okay. It was based on the characters developed from a recurring musical sketch, The Blues Brothers, and it starred John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, James Brown, Cab Calloway, Ray Charles, Carrie Fisher, Aretha Franklin, and Henry Gibson. Made $115.5 million, $27 million budget. Received mostly positive from critics, and before its home release, and has become a cult classic over the years. And yeah, I think it's one of my favorite John Landis movie. So that's The Blues Brothers. 1981, we had American Werewolf in London, which was a comedy horror film. It starred David Norton, Jenny Agutter, Griffin Dunn, John Woodvine. It made $62 million, $5.8 million budget. A sequel, An American Werewolf in Paris, that came in 1987. That was not directed by John Landis. It received mostly negative reviews upon release. And this movie's good. So that's American Werewolf in London. And then in 1982, we had Coming Soon, which was a direct-to-video documentary film. It was narrated by Jamie Lee Curtis, and Landis used trailers of old Universal horror films for its crazy and contributes to the film genre. And yeah, so I've not seen this movie. And then 1983, we had Trading Places, which was a comedy film. It starred Dan Aykroyd, Eddie Murphy, Ralph Bellamy, Don Ameche, Denham Elliott, and Jamie Lee Curtis. Made $120 million, $50 million budget. It also received positive reviews, with many critics praising both the central cast and the film's revival of the screwball comedy genre prevalent in the 1930s and 50s, while critics are trended for lacking the same moral message of the genre while promoting the accumulation of wealth. In the years since its release, the film has been reassessed, both positive and negative. It has been praised as one of the greatest comedy films and Christmas films ever made, but retrospect assessments have criticized its use on racial jokes and language. Trading Places. Then 1983, we had Twilight Zone, which was a science fiction anthology film. It's based on Rod Serling's 1959 to 1964 television series of the same name. This was directed by John Landis, Steven Spielberg, Joe Dante, George Miller. They each of them did a segment. And I talked about this when I did Steven Spielberg, Joe Dante, George Miller. I want to talk about this specifically because the film's production achieved notoriety when Mara and two illegal hired child actors were killed in a helicopter crash during filming of a stunt for land segment. The deaths led to several years of legal action, although no individuals were found to become liable. New procedures and safety standards were imposed in the filmmaking industry. Upon release, the film received mixed reviews, with praise directed at Dante Miller's segments, but criticism towards the segments by Landis and Spielberg. And yeah, so it's during Landis's one, which starred Vic Morrow, and it had two kid actors. Now this was there was a whole court case, and I think Jennifer Jason Leigh, that was Vic Morrow was her dad. I don't think he never forgave John Landis. And shortly after this movie, Steven Spielberg ended his friendship with John Landis. So Here's a whole thing. There's plenty of YouTube videos if you want to get into it. 1985, we had Into the Night, which was a black comedy action thriller film. It starred Jeff Goldblum, Michelle Pfeiffer, Richard Farnsworth, Irene Poppers, and Catherine Harold. It made $7.5 million, $8 million budget. And yeah, I've not seen this movie. I don't know if it's good or not, but so that's Into the Night. Then in 1985, we had Spies Like Us, which was a spy comedy film. It starred Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, Steve Forrest, Donna Dixon, Bruce Davison, Bernie Casey, William Prince, and Tom Hatton. It made $77.3 million, $22 million budget. Received negative reviews, but was a financial success. And so Spies Like Us. And then in 1986, we had Three Amigos, which was a Western comedy film. It starred Chevy Chase, Steve Martin, Martin Short, Alfonso Arruda, Tony Plana, and then Patrice Martinez. It made $39.2 million at $25 million budget. So it was a good movie, Three Amigos. And then in 1987, we had Amazon Women on the Moon, which was a satirical science fiction film that parodies the experience of watching low-budget films on late television night. So Joe Dante, Carl Gottlieb, Pia Horton, John Landis, and Robert K. Wise. It starred Michelle Pfeiffer, P. Horton, Joe Pontalano, Paul Bettany, Carrie Fisher, Paul Bartle, Sybil Danning, Steve Forrest, Steve Allen, and Kelly Preston, and Lana Clarkson. $548 on a $5 million budget. So yeah. Then in 1988 we had Coming to America, which was a romantic comedy film. It starred Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, James Earl Jones, John Amos, Madge Sinclair, and Shari Headley. It made $288.350 million, $36 million budget. In 1989, a pilot for a planned spin-off television series was made, although this was never picked up for a series. A sequel, Coming to America, released in 2021. This one's okay. The sequel's okay. It's not as good as the first one, but yes, Coming to America. And then after that, in 1991, we had Oscar, which was a comedy film. It's a remake of the 1967 French film of the same name. It stars Sylvester Stallone. Made $23.5 million, $35 million budget. It received mixed reviews. That's Oscar. Then in 1992, we had Innocent Blood, which was a black comedy horror film. It starred Anne Parolack, Robert Loggia, Anthony LaPaglia, and Don Rickles. It made $4.9 million, $20 million budget. And so yeah. Then in 1994, we had Beverly Hills Cop 3, which is a action comedy film. It was the third film in the Beverly Hills Cop franchise. So Eddie Murphy, Judge Reinhold, Hector Elizondo, Teresa Randall, Alan Young, John Saxon, Timothy Carhart, and Stephen McCarthy. Made $190.2 million, $50 million budget. It received negative reviews and was considered by them and Murphy himself as the weakest in the trilogy. Now there is a sequel called Beverly Hills Cop Axel Foley. That will be on Netflix. I don't know when it's coming out, but yeah, so I'm looking for it. I hope it's better than this one, but yeah. Is that Beverly Hills Cop 3. Then 1996 we had The Stupids, which was an adventure comedy film, and is based on the Stupids characters from a series of books by Harry Allard, and it starred Tom Arnold, Jessica Landy, Buckhall, Alex McKenna, Mark Metcalf, Matt Castle, and Christopher Lee. Made $2.5 million, $25 million budget. It received negative reviews. The Stupids. Then in 1998 we had Blues Brothers 2000, which is a music comedy film. The film says sequel to the Blues Brothers, and it starred Dan Aykroyd, John Goodman, Joe Morton, J. Evan Donifant, Arthena Franklin, James Brown, B.B. King, the Blues Brothers Band. made $30.1 million, $30 million budget. It received mixed to negative reviews, and so yeah, that's Blues Brothers 2000. And then in 1998 we had Susan's Plan, or also known as Dying to Get Rich on Video, is a black comedy film. It starred Natasha Kinski, Dan Aykroyd, Billy Zane, Michael Benn, Lara Flynn Boyd, and Rob Schneider, and so yeah, Susan's Plan. And then finally 2010 we had Burke and Hare, which was a British black comedy film. It's loosely based on the Burke and Hare murders of 1828. It was Landis' first feature film, released in 12 years, the last being Susan's Plan. And it starred Simon Pegg, Andy Serkis, Isla Fisher, Tom Wilkinson, Jessica Hines, Bill Bailey, Christopher Lee, and Tim Curry. $4.3 million on $10 million budget. So yeah, that's the Burke and Hare. And that's pretty much it as John Landis. Now, I don't think he's made a bad movie other than Beverly Hills Cop 3, but I like all his movies, so that's the intentional one of John Landis. Guys, I'm going to my videos. My next one. Bye.